Hi everyone, it's Lillian here with another Facebook Live, and today I'm going to be talking about how another tip for using the catalog for your creative process. So let's look down right now and let's flip this around. There we go. Now, whoops, let's get you a little bit more here. Tighten things up. So using the catalog, I use the catalog so much in my creative process, not only looking for the samples, but one of the other things I do is I really look at the designer paper. I look at it for a lot of reasons. One of the main reasons I look at it is because of the color combinations. These people who put these colors together, who designed this paper, they're people who are trained with color. I'm not, and I'm not very good often at putting colors together. So when stuck, I work from the colors they've used in the designer paper and then go from there. So today we're going to make a SIP card, SIP, S-I-P. It means stamps, ink, and paper. But every one of the cards I show you today is going to be inspired by the colors in designer paper. So let's take a look at what we're going to work with. We're going to use 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock. This is thick Whisper White, which I really love to use as my card base. I did add a piece of basic black just for a layer. This piece and this piece are not necessary. You could do it all right on this piece of Whisper White, stamps, ink, and paper. But I decided to add a layer. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And then this is just 1/4 inch smaller, 5 by 3 3/4. Then I'm using some long slender stamps. I'm going to use the feather from Tasteful Touches today, but when I show you the samples, I've used some leaves. You can use anything. And once you see this, I think you'll come up with lots of ideas on your own. So let me just get some of this out of the way and show you the designer paper that inspired me. The designer paper that I'm working from today is Artistry Blooms. It's got, I was going to say a zillion, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 colors in it. So this basically gives you wide open range. So I started looking at it, and I actually decided to go with the Magenta Madness, which is one of the new in colors, and then Coastal Cabana, which is one of my favorite colors. So let's see what I'm going to do here. Let's put that to the side. Fold our paper. Forgot to put my bone folder beside me. There we go. Now, I could do everything right here. I usually like to at least add 1 layer of white, so if I make a mistake, I can at least turn it over. So, and this is just how it's going to go together. We've made lots of cards like that. So we're going to be doing all of our work on this Whisper White piece, the 5 by 3 3/4. I'll bring in my silicone craft mat just to add contrast here so I can see easily. I want to find the middle of my paper, but I don't really want to sweat it too much. So I'm just going to use my grid paper, and well, I can see right through here. So that looks pretty good to me. So I will put it there. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to use Coastal Cabana and the feather. I'm going to ink the feather up. And you'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing in a minute. I'm going to stamp this one. I'll do, you know what? I'm going to do a different version for you. I'm going to stamp all of the feathers right side up. I didn't in my other samples, so you'll see. So this one's going to go like that. That's in the center, and then another one right beside it. If you have trouble lining it up, you could use your Stamparatus, or you could purposely do them a little off. And a third one. Now I am going to do one more color like that over here, but it's easier for me to line things up if I clean it off and use the other color. I want one contrasting color in there, and you don't have to. I'm just doing it just because. So I'm bringing in Magenta Madness, ink that up, stamp it down, then clean it off. Now that's a really vibrant color, but it just makes me happy. I don't know why. And it does dry just a smidge lighter. And then we'll bring in another Coastal Cabana one. There we go. Close up the ink pads. So that's paper, that's stamps, that's ink, and I'm going for the words. I've been having so much fun with this lovely used stamp set. Great, great words. And they don't take up tons of space, but they're lovely font, and they've got mixed fonts. So I'm going to bring that in with black. And let's get this straight, because that helps my eyes see straight. Not that they're always right on, but it'll be close enough. Wildly Grateful. Ha, ha, ha. Love it. All right. There's that. You're just going to see how wildly simple this is. I'm going to put adhesive on the back. Center it on there. Now, I always like to turn it over and do my rubbing back here to make it stick a little bit more. Sometimes if the ink is slightly damp, I don't know if it's happened to you, but it's definitely happened to me. I've pressed down on the front and smeared everything and not been happy. So it works way better if you apply all that extra pressure on the back. Now, while I've got my ink pad out, I'm going to add something to the inside. I think I'll add some more of the Coastal Cabana, but this time I'm just going to stamp it off. And you can stamp on your silicone mat and then just wash it off with water. Do you know what? I'm going to put it right here. And then when I have words for the inside, they can come from there. I think I like that. So there it is. One quick and simple card using the designer paper. So this is another way of using your catalog. Now, could I dress this up? Oh yes, I certainly could. I could add embellishments. I could add ribbon. Some of this could be popped up. You could do all kinds of things, but it's a beautiful card, just the way it is. But let me show you some of the other cards I made. So I made another one, same type of design as this one, using the Peony Garden. So the colors here are basic gray, gray granite, petal pink, and whisper white. I didn't use any basic gray, but I used these three colors here. And this is where I alternated the feathers, right side up and upside down. And again, this time I made my cardstock layer, the colored layer, just 1/8 of an inch small, bigger than this. So it was, where's my measurements? It was 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So just a narrower border versus this border. So it's just, again, a different look. I really like those colors together. I don't use gray granite very often, and I'm thinking I need to. It's a really nice color. It's got richness to it, and yet it's soft. I don't know exactly how to explain that. So then I went on to a leaf one, and this time for my color inspiration, I used the Forever Greenery designer paper. And I looked through this and I went with, what colors did I go with? I went with these three colors right here. So Garden Green, Shaded Spruce, and Just Jade. And then there's a smidge of, whoops, soft sea foam, and I'll show you that. So again, I took my inspiration from the designer paper for the color, and this one is stepped up a little. So I've used the leaves, and I continued with the right side up, upside down type of thing. And each one is a slightly different color, but it's monochromatic so that it's all in the greens. The little speckles are where I use the soft sea foam, and those came also from the Forever Fern stamp set where the stamp came. So I used these two stamps here. I also used the word hello. And I need to share a little story here. I stamped hello right on the card like I did with these ones here, and I missed part of the H, so I needed to fix it. So I wrapped the Just Jade ribbon around, stamped hello again on some scrap paper and cut it out and put it on dimensionals. And then when I went to get some rhinestones to dress it up, I had some that were already colored with the colors that went with here. So here's a card, same card, just stepped up a little bit. Now you could always go and make it portrait as well. But I just wanted to show you how you can keep things simple. Look at the catalog for inspiration in lots of different ways, not just card samples, but use your designer paper and you can step things up a little bit. Oh, and I put this layer on dimensionals on this, whereas these are all flat. So if you like these cards, and I kind of think you'll be making some, please click like, leave a comment. Please, I really appreciate comments and shares. Facebook likes me better when I get those, so you really do help me. And I would love it if you would post anything that you've made using these ideas right here. So, oh yeah, if you want to order online, and more of you are doing that, the current hostess code is this one right here. And this is where you shop from my online store. This is my website here. I'm working on some new classes. One that I'm leaning towards is going to be a black and white one. I'm also looking at some other fun ideas. If you have a card, if you have a class idea that you would like me to do, please leave me a comment or drop me a note and let me know. I always appreciate your input. So there you go. There is your card inspired by the designer paper in the catalog. Bye-bye.